Well, good morning. It is a happy Monday, and this journal entry is going to be about the dream process that I'm moving through. It's very interesting as I continue to do, I was going to adjust this mic a little bit, continue to do my own dream journey and discovering that there's a cycle, a large cycle, a spiral, in fact, that begins with vague dreams and ends up with a huge celebratory dream. And that's what happened over the last several weeks, culminating on Wednesday with a celebratory dream. And so as I move forward with my own dream scientific research, I'm going to detail more of that both on my blog at positivelyfocused.co and here in videos. Really fascinating experience in my dream state this morning, as well as meditation. So every morning when I wake up, after I do my ablutions, washing my face, using the bathroom, brushing my teeth, etc., I then come back into bed and I meditate for an hour. And during that hour of meditation, I process through my dreams, and then also, first I focus in on my non-physical form. And that experience is extremely satisfying. And over the many years that I've been meditating, that practice has developed into a meditative state where I can feel the non-physical presence that is me pushing beyond the boundaries of my physical body. And I'm focusing more and more on wanting to live from that version of me rather than the version of me that recognizes me as my physical body. And as I'm doing that, I can feel the intensity of the orientation toward that non-physical version of me increasing. And the more that happens, especially in meditation, the more delicious my meditation feels. And this is the basis upon which I'm practicing other leading edge investigations or research, including shapeshifting and traveling outside of my body. It's a very interesting experience that I'm having in this meditation practice, and I'm enjoying it more and more. Interestingly, when I'm laying down meditating, which is what I do in the morning these days, these sensations are far more pronounced than when I'm sitting up in like a cross-legged position. And my speculation is that as I focus more and develop more of an orientation toward the non-physical aspect that is me, I will be able to stabilize that to such a degree that I will be able to feel it more pronounced in my sitting meditation. And then as that becomes more stabilized, I'll be able to do it in my wake state, which will then allow me to access capabilities like shape-shifting, out-of-body travel, teleportation, etc. So we'll see how that goes. All this is happening at an interesting pace. So in physical reality, the spiritual elements of expansion happen much more slowly because there's much more resistance in physical reality than in non-physical. In non-physical, these kinds of things are instantaneous, which is what makes the dream state feel so chaotic sometimes until you stabilize it like I have. But in physical reality, these kinds of experiences are somewhat hindered by resistance, the inherent resistance of being in physical, but also the overt resistance that occurs as a result of the distorted beliefs we've taken on over the years of being human. So these are the things. So it's not like any of us have to try to become shapeshifters or travel outside of our body or teleport. It's that we have to soothe the resistant beliefs we have that are preventing us from naturally expressing those capabilities. The most obvious beliefs that we pretty much all have is that these types of capabilities are impossible. They only happen in movies. Well, the reason why they're happening in movies is because artists who are tapped into spiritual reality are able to express those kinds of ideas, those kinds of leading edge capabilities, but they can only express them so far as in films because they too don't believe that they're possible in physical reality. So artists are kind of demonstrating what's possible for us as we expand more and more into the future. I hope my camera, my laptop just went to sleep. I'm hoping that it did not pause the camera, but I think it may have. And since this is unscripted, I'm not going to try and edit it or start over. So all of this is to say that this has been a magnificent morning. I'm really looking forward to the next morning and what happens next as I move forward in my practice. All right, see you in the next entry.